Have you ever wondered how your favorite sweet and tart cherries make it from the orchard to your kitchen, still fresh, juicy, and bursting with flavor? Hi, I'm your host from GREEN-AgroWorks, where we explore the fascinating world of modern farming and food production. Today, I'm taking you behind the scenes of one of America's most prized summer fruits, the cherry. Every year, American farmers harvest over 770 million pounds of cherries across states like Washington, Michigan, Oregon, and California. But this isn't just about picking fruit, it's a full-scale, tech-driven operation that combines tradition with innovation. It all begins in early spring, when cherry orchards transform into a sea of delicate white and pink blossoms. As the weeks pass, those flowers turn into small green fruits, slowly ripening into the deep red gems we love. But timing is everything. Cherries don't continue to ripen after harvest, so they must be picked at peak perfection. From hand-picked methods used for premium exports to mechanized harvesting machines shaking trees, with precision, farmers use a mix of skill and technology to get the job done. Then comes cleaning, sorting, packaging, and in some cases transforming cherries into juice, jam, or syrup. If you're as curious as I am about where your food really comes from, stick with me, because what happens next will make you appreciate that little red fruit a whole lot more. Welcome to the journey. This is GREEN-AgroWorks. Before we get to harvesting those delicious cherries, it all starts with the land and a whole lot of patience. Growing cherries begins with choosing the right location. In the U.S., the top cherry growing regions are Washington State, Michigan, Oregon, and California, thanks to their mild winters, warm summers, and well-drained soil. For a tree that will eventually yield fruit year after year, the foundation must be perfect. Farmers begin by loosening the soil to a depth of about 24 inches to ensure proper drainage and root development. Cherries thrive in slightly acidic soil with a pH between 6.0 and 7.0. Many growers mix in compost or aged manure before planting to improve soil structure and boost nutrients. Trees are spaced 13 to 20 feet apart depending on the variety. This spacing allows enough room for air circulation, sunlight exposure, and efficient equipment access down the rows. The best time to plant is in early spring or late fall. Young saplings are carefully positioned into pre-dug holes, making sure the graft union, the point where the tree was grafted onto rootstock, sits a few inches above the soil line. For the first couple of years, it's all about nurturing growth. Drip irrigation systems provide consistent moisture without overwatering. In the spring, nitrogen-rich fertilizer promotes healthy leaf and branch development, laying the groundwork for fruit-bearing seasons to come. Pruning is a crucial part of the process. In late winter, farmers trim away weak or overcrowded branches, shaping the canopy to maximize sunlight and airflow. This keeps disease at bay and encourages stronger, more productive growth. And then comes the magical part, blooming season. Between late March and early April, cherry orchards explode into soft white and pink blossoms. Not only are they breathtaking, but they also mark the official start of fruit production. We've seen how much care and planning goes into planting and nurturing cherry trees, but the real magic is just about to begin. Ever wondered how these trees burst into beautiful bloom and turn into rows of fruit-laden branches? We're diving into that next. But before we get there, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe to GREEN-AgroWorks, and turn on notifications so you don't miss any of our upcoming episodes. After months of careful pruning, watering, and fertilizing, the cherry trees finally prepare for their most stunning transformation, flowering. And let me tell you, it's nothing short of magical. In early spring, usually from late March through April, cherry orchards in places like Washington, Michigan, Oregon, and California burst into color. The trees are covered in delicate white or pale pink blossoms, turning entire fields into a sea of petals. It's not just beautiful, it's the beginning of everything. This is when pollination becomes critical. Bees and other natural pollinators dance between flowers, transferring pollen that will help the blossoms transform into fruit. Without them, we'd have no cherries. Some growers even rent beehives to boost pollination rates during this narrow window. After successful pollination, tiny green fruit begins to form at the base of each flower. Over the next 6 to 8 weeks, these little green spheres slowly grow, fed by sunlight, water, and nutrients from the soil. The transformation is fascinating. The cherries swell, darken from pale yellow to a vibrant red, and develop their unique sweet tart flavor. Weather plays a huge role during this time. A sudden frost or hailstorm can destroy an entire crop overnight. Too much rain can cause cherries to crack. That's why many farmers invest in drip irrigation systems and weather monitoring tools to protect their harvest. By the time early summer rolls around, each cherry tree is loaded with ripe, glossy fruit and ready for harvest. But remember, cherries don't ripen once picked. Timing is everything. This phase from flowering to fruit is a delicate balance between nature and nurture. And it's one of the reasons I fell in love with agriculture. Stick with us because in the next part, I'll take you straight into the action. How American farmers harvest millions of pounds of cherries at peak perfection. Once cherries hit their peak ripeness, that deep ruby red color and firm texture, it's go time. Harvest season usually runs from late May through July, depending on the region and variety. And let me tell you, this is when the real hustle begins. On small to mid-sized farms, we often pick cherries by hand. It's slow, delicate work. Each cherry must be gently twisted from the stem to avoid bruising the fruit or damaging the tree. Skilled workers move down the rows with practiced care, filling buckets that are later transferred into padded bins. This method is ideal for premium-grade cherries heading to upscale grocery stores or export markets. But hand-picking is labor-intensive. It takes up to 1,000 pounds of cherries to fill a single commercial bin, and harvesting by hand can cost farmers thousands of dollars per acre. That's why on larger farms, we turn to mechanical harvesting. Now mechanical cherry harvesters are something to see. These machines straddle the tree row and use hydraulic shakers to vibrate the trunk or branches. Ripe cherries fall onto catch frames or padded conveyor belts below. It's fast, efficient, and can harvest several tons in a single day. That said, machines aren't perfect. If the timing's off, they might knock off underripe or overripe fruit. And bruising is a concern, especially with softer varieties. That's why many farms, including ours, use a hybrid approach: mechanical harvesters for bulk processing cherries and hand-picking for the premium stuff. Timing is critical. Cherries won't ripen after being picked, and they're incredibly perishable. Within hours, they need to be cooled, packed, and on their way to market or processing plants. In the next section, I'll walk you through what happens once cherries leave the orchard, how we clean, sort, and preserve them to keep that juicy flavor intact. Once our cherries leave the orchard, they're on a tight timeline. These fruits are incredibly delicate. One small bruise or exposure to heat can shorten their shelf life dramatically. That's why within just a few hours of harvest, we deliver them to a cold chain processing facility where the real transformation begins. First, the cherries go through a water flume system, a chilled bath that gently moves them along while washing off dirt, dust, and any leftover leaves or stems. This isn't just about cleanliness, it also begins the hydro-cooling process, bringing the cherries down to around 32 to ensure 34 degrees to preserve their firmness and flavor. Next, they pass through automated sorting machines equipped with cameras and sensors. These high-tech systems inspect each cherry for size, color, and defects. Cherries with bruises, cracks, or discoloration are diverted to the processing line. More on that later. The top-grade cherries, the ones that look picture-perfect, head straight to packaging lines. Workers inspect them again by hand before gently placing them into clamshell containers, bulk bins, or custom boxes. Every step is designed to minimize handling and preserve freshness. From there, they're packed into temperature-controlled pallets and sent straight to grocery stores, wholesale markets, or exported overseas. Timing is everything. We aim to get them from field to shelf in as little as 24 to 48 hours. As for the cherries that didn't make the cut, don't worry, they're still destined for something great. In the next part, I'll show you how those imperfect cherries get a second life in juices, jams, and other sweet creations. Now that our fresh cherries are washed, sorted, and packed with care, you might be wondering what happens to the ones that don't make it to the produce aisle. Don't worry, they still have an important role to play. In the next part, we'll explore how these cherries are transformed into delicious juices, jams, and more. If you're enjoying this behind-the-scenes journey, give us a like, subscribe to GREEN-AgroWorks, and ring that bell so you never miss a harvest. And let us know in the comments. What's your favorite cherry product, juice, jam, or pie filling? We'd love to hear your pick. Not every cherry is flawless, and that's okay. Because here at GREEN-AgroWorks, even the odd-shaped or slightly bruised ones still have a delicious future ahead. Once sorted out from the premium batch, these second-grade cherries head straight to our processing line to become value-added products like cherry juice, jams, syrups, and pie fillings. The journey starts with a high-powered washer where cherries are cleaned thoroughly using jets of filtered water to remove any lingering residue. After that, they move to the destemming and pitting machines, fast, precise equipment that can process tens of thousands of cherries per hour. This step is crucial for safety and texture, especially for products like jam or baked fillings. Next, the pitted cherries are either crushed, juiced, or kept whole, depending on the final product. For juice, the fruit is cold-pressed, then filtered to remove pulp. The liquid is pasteurized at around 185 degrees to kill bacteria while preserving the color and nutritional value. For jam and pie filling, cherries are blended with ingredients like sugar, lemon juice, and natural pectin, then slowly simmered in large kettles. This slow cooking process, often around 45 minutes, thickens the mixture and brings out the fruit's deep flavor and vibrant color. We constantly stir it to prevent scorching and to ensure a smooth, consistent texture. Once the product reaches the perfect consistency, it's pumped into jars or cans. We use vacuum sealing and hot fill techniques to keep everything shelf stable without the need for artificial preservatives. From a bruised cherry to a breakfast table staple, that's the beauty of smart food processing. These products are not only tasty, but they also reduce waste and boost the overall value of our harvest. Here at GREEN-AgroWorks, we believe that behind every cherry, whether it ends up in a fresh fruit box or as a spoonful of jam, there's a story worth telling. It's a story of farmers rising with the sun machines, humming with efficiency, and a deep respect for the land that sustains us. By learning more about where our food comes from, we grow more connected to the choices we make every day. So next time you enjoy a cherry pie or sip cherry juice, remember it's more than just a sweet treat. It's the result of dedication, innovation, and a love for agriculture. If this journey inspired you, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell for more stories from the field. Until next time, this is GREEN-AgroWorks, bringing the farm closer to your table.